Welcome friends, I welcome you all in this third video on design of combined rectangular footing. Till now we have calculated the trial depth. In this video we'll move towards the next step of design. Before that I will revise the steps which we have followed till now. First of all we have calculated the total load on footing. After that we have calculated the area of footing. We have also calculated the length and width of footing. Then we have calculated the total upward soil pressure or net upward soil pressure. Then we have moved towards the calculation of bending moment at column A, at column B, and point of maximum hogging moment. We have calculated all these moments and we have taken maximum value of moment for computing the trial depth by equating this maximum bending moment with limiting moment. After that we have equated the maximum bending moment with this is maximum bending moment which was in hogging, so and we have it equated with limiting moment. So this is the formula for limiting bending moment, and from this we have calculated the effective depth. This is trial depth of course, because we need to check this depth for various criterias like shear, one-way shear, two-way shear. So now in this video we'll move towards the next calculation. We'll consider the bar which we are providing for this footing are of 16 mm diameter. So let's consider 16 mm diameter, that is phi bars. Phi is represented for denoting the diameter. So we are using here 16 mm phi, that is diameter bars, and provide 60 mm clear cover. We know that there is criteria of minimum clear cover or minimum cover for various components of structure, like for beam it is 25, for slab it is 20, for column it is 40, and for footing the minimum cover should be 50 mm. Here we are taking 60 mm because we can provide 50 but we cannot provide the cover less than 50 mm for footing, but we can provide greater than this value. Okay, so I have taken 60 mm here. So if we are providing 60 mm as a clear cover, it means that clear cover, here I have shown the section of footing. Clear cover means if this is the outer edge of bar, then the distance of outer edge of bar to outer edge of or bottom edge of footing, that will be called as clear cover. If this is outer edge of bar and if this is bottom edge of footing, then this distance is called as clear cover, whereas the distance from center of bar to edge of bottom edge of footing will be called as effective cover. So here we have assumed clear cover. So in order to calculate effective cover, we need to add half of the diameter of bar in it. So we'll get the effective cover after adding 8 mm to 60 mm, which is clear cover. So we have got effective cover of 68 mm. Now we'll calculate the overall depth. We have got the effective depth as 392.4 mm. If we add this 68 in it, we'll get 460.4. So we have got the effective overall depth as 460.4. We know that as we have calculated this depth of footing from bending criteria, generally the depth required for shear criteria is greater than bending criteria. Also for economic use of span, economic use of steel, we increase the depth by 40%. So let's increase the depth which was calculated. So the new depth will be 1.40. This is taken to increase the depth by 40%, because if we want to increase the depth by 40%, we should multiply it by 140 divided by 100, that is 140%, as we are increasing it by 40%. So this ratio will become 1.40. So here I have taken 1.40 to increase the depth by 40%. So I'll calculate that what value will be there. So it is 460.4 multiplied by 1.4. So it is 644. I am getting 0.56 mm. So I will round it off, say 650. So I am providing the overall depth of how much it will be equal to 650 mm. So provide depth of 650 mm. Now we'll find out what effective depth we'll get from this overall depth. So to calculate effective depth, we should deduct effective cover from overall depth. So effective overall depth is 650, effective cover is 68. So we'll get the effective depth as 582. Okay, you just cross check what I'm writing is right or wrong. It is 582 mm. So we have got effective depth of 582 mm. तो दोस्तों अभी नेक्स्ट टाइम में हम करेंगे पंचिंग shear के कैलकुलेशन. So we'll do punching shear calculation in next time. We'll check whether this D which we have calculated by bending moment criteria is safe in shear, two-way shear or not. So first of all we'll do shear calculation for column A. So for that we need to calculate the punching load on column A. So that's why we'll calculate the punching load on A or due to A. Okay, so it will be equal to column load minus reaction of soil on column area. So this will be the formula. So on column A we know that there is a load of 1000. We have calculated the reaction, that was 252.52. You can cross check this value in the previous video. We have calculated this net upward pressure. Okay, so into area of column A, that is 0.4 by 0.4 because it is given. So this calculation can be done by yourself. I will directly write the value. It is 959.60. Okay, so it will be in kilonewton. So if we round it off, we can say that it is 9600 kilonewton. Sorry, 9600 Newton. It will be. Sorry, it will be. Rewrite it. 959,600 Newton. I have just converted it in Newton. Okay, so now we'll take factored punching load here. So factored load is obtained by multiplying the load by 1.5. So it will be 1.5 multiplied by 959600. So it will be 1439 400 Newton. Okay, now we'll equate this punching shear, factor punching shear, with design punching shear or permissible punching shear. Okay, so the value of permissible design punching shear can be assumed as 1.118 if it is not given by the formula of 0.25 FCK. Okay, so we'll take the formula for permissible punching shear now. It is perimeter of column A into D into design punching shear equal to the factored value which we have calculated. Okay, now we'll equate these two. So it will be like this: 4 into 400 into D is not known. Okay, it is 1.118 equal to the value of the factored punching shear is 1439400. Okay, so the value of D here, if you calculate this, you will get D equal to, I'll directly write that, 499.8 mm. Hence we have provided D provided, which is 650, is greater than D which is required for punching. So footing is safe in punching shear. Okay, so we have checked this for the first criteria. Now we'll move towards the next part, that will be on the calculation of area of steel. Okay, so as we have calculated the moment at different points, similarly we have to find out the area of steel for different positions. Like I will explain this. The condition of footing is like this. This is column A, this is column B, and there is upward soil pressure acting on the footing from the bottom side. So in this case, the bending moment diagram will be like this. I will draw it. The portion under column A will have some sagging. The part in between column A and B will have hogging, and again the portion under B have some sagging moment here. So we need to provide some steel, or the steel should be provided under A in bottom side of footing. So if this is the footing, then under column A will provide in this position, whereas in between these two columns will provide the steel at top side, because it is having hogging moment at the in the portion between these two columns. Okay, again when we are moving towards the footing under the column B, then it is having sagging moment, because of which we need to provide the steel at bottom side. As this value of moment is different, it is I think near about, it is greater than 100, but it is near to 100. This is 765 I think, and this is 585. So these values are different, values of moments are different. So because of this different value, we need to provide different area of steel for under these sections. So here under the column A there will be different AST, which means we need to provide some number of bars under this column, which will not be same for this position. Okay, so we need to provide more bars in this position because the bending moment is higher at this position. Here again we have another value of bending moment, so the area of steel will be different for these cases. So we'll calculate one by one. In such cases, first my procedure is to calculate the AST minimum value first, because in the coming calculation, if we get any value less than this value, then we have to provide AST minimum, because for the footing which is having the steel of 415, the minimum area of steel at any section should be 0.12 divided by 100 into BD. Here it is capital D, so it will be overall depth. So first of all we'll calculate the AST minimum. 0.12 divided by 100, B is 1800 and D is 650, I think. Okay, so we'll calculate that. 0.12, it is 140.4 mm square. It means that the area of steel provided at any section under the footing should be greater than this value. In the next calculation, we are calculating the area of steel under column A, area of steel under column B, and the area of steel for the part between column A and B. So if any section is having calculated area of steel lesser than this value, then we'll go for providing AST minimum at that section. So for that I have calculated it before calculating all the area of steels. Okay, so we'll calculate the next, that is area of steel under column A, in next video. Till now we have we have calculated the total load. After that we have calculated, I am revising these steps because it is very important to know what steps we are following in this design, because if you know the steps, it will be very easy to design the combined footing. As we are already looking that this design of footing, combined footing, is having too much calculations, so the best way to understand this design is to understand the steps. So I am repeatedly revising the steps which we are following in this procedure. Okay, so first of all we have calculated the total load. After that we have calculated the area of footing. Then we have calculated the length and width of footing. Then we have determined the net upward pressure. After that we have calculated the trial depth. Before that we have determined the bending moment at column A, column B, and at the section of maximum hogging bending moment. Then we have calculated trial depth for maximum value of these three. After that we have taken the check of two-way shear, that is punching shear, for the calculated trial depth from bending criteria. If it is found safe, then we have moved towards the calculation of area of steel. First of all, we have calculated AST minimum value. Now I will explain the next step in next video. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe if you like my video. Thank you.